We've come to that time of the year that people are planning on taking trips. Maybe you are, but more than likely there are people planning to come and visit you. Today's homily might also be a bit of a travelogue. This trip took place over 2,000 years ago and went from Galilee to Jerusalem. Let's have 3 points for reflection this afternoon. The original journey of Jesus in Luke's gospel, the specific incident that we heard today about the Samaritans, and finally, what lessons we might learn from this gospel reading. Every 3 years, we read from one of the gospel stories: Matthew, Mark, Luke. John is saved for the Easter season. We're currently reading from Luke, and will continue to do so until Advent begins. Something's happening in the 9th chapter that we read from this afternoon. It's important to note that what Jesus is doing is beginning a journey, beginning a trip from Galilee to Jerusalem. And that really gives us the structure for the rest of Luke's gospel. Christ is always heading toward Jerusalem. Geographically, that's true, but also theologically. This trip will help us to understand what it means to be a follower of Christ, what it is that we are asked to believe, and how we are asked or expected to behave. The initiation into Christianity in Luke's gospel is the equivalent of taking a journey, one step at a time. Today it gets underway with Jesus and his disciples entering a Samaritan town. And Samaritans were not supportive of Jews. And they didn't accept Jerusalem as being a holy place. The key point is the brief dialogue that takes place with James and John. The disciples are angry that they've been rejected, and they want Jesus to punish the Samaritans. Christ rejects the action. He rebukes James and John instead, and continues his journey towards Jerusalem. Toleration of those who reject us is one of the obvious lessons we can take from today's gospel. The specifics of that each of us needs to develop is different. But maybe in general terms, we can think of a, quote, friend or family member who seems to have forgotten us. Maybe we've been hurt and unable to take the first step to be reconciled. Or perhaps we have reached out, taken that step, and we have been rejected. The gospel encourages us not to try to retaliate, but to tolerate. And if possible, to extend the hand of friendship once again. Our feelings are important, but they cannot be the sole controlling factor in our lives. We need to take action based not only on feelings, but on conviction, beliefs, faith, commitment to the gospel. The challenge for you and me is to extend the hand of toleration and even the hand of love to those who have hurt us or rejected us. In the second reading, Paul says that if we keep fighting with each other, we will end in mutual destruction. A lesson from 2,000 years ago that you and I need to hear again today.